Welcome back to Cameron's Comics, everybody. I'm Ryan, and we're going to get drawing. So let's go to it. So, last time, we drew this guy, Stickman. If you don't have your Stickman, you might be starting on the wrong video. Go back to video 1 and draw this guy first. If you did already draw that guy, then you're in the right place. And we are going to go to the next level. We're going to add some more detail and make this guy a little bit stronger. Before we get started, I want to introduce you to someone who's going to be helping us today. It's Ted Kord Blue Beetle, created by Steve Ditko. His brother here is Spider-Man. I have Booster here as well because Booster's never far from Blue Beetle. We're going to be using Ted Kord Blue Beetle to help us. I'm going to use him to kind of show you what I'm talking about with some of these shapes we're going to be doing. Again, very easy. We're going to take it nice and slow, and at the end, you're going to have more of a defined character, but not complete yet. But we're getting there. So let's get drawing. Grab your Ticonderogas and let's get to it. All right. So, like I said in the last video, we created this guy. Now I've taken the liberty of redrawing him in a lighter pencil, a blue non-photo pencil, just so that when I add more stuff to him, you can tell the difference. You don't have to redraw him. You can keep your same guy. So we are going to be drawing this character, and we're going to be thinking about an action figure, and that's where Blue Beetle comes into play. So, an action figure, you can see, is just a couple segments put together. So the arm is 3 pieces, torso, 3 pieces, legs are a few pieces. But I want you to look at the shape of the torso here. It's got room for the shoulders, and we have this joint in the middle where he can bend, which is not my favorite joint. It can ruin an action figure if it's too loose. But I want you to think about those and wish you had Ted Kord Blue Beetle. I have to keep saying his name because a lot of people know Jaime Reyes, the Blue Beetle, who's actually the 3rd Blue Beetle. But this one's my favorite Blue Beetle. All right, we'll bring him back later. So, we're gonna start by adding some shapes to this guy. Well, we're gonna start fleshing him out. So, let's start with the arm. Like I said, 3 pieces. We have a shoulder, we have an upper arm, bicep, tricep, and we have the lower arm, forearm. Okay? Very easy, just like we did the last time. We are only adding shapes. So kind of make this shoulder here. It's not quite a circle, more of a boxy shape. Now for the upper arm, you can watch me first. The upper arm, then for the lower arm. It's going to be widest at the joint where our elbow is, and it's going to slope down to meet that wrist. And I'm going to leave the hand off for now. Now, it might look like boxes, 2-dimensional boxes, but I don't want you to think about it like boxes. I want you to think about it like cylinders. Think of a soup can. Because this arm isn't a box, it is actually kind of tubular. And that's going to come into play later when we do our poses. So, little sidebar. You'll recall in the last video we talked about doing different poses. I drew the picture of the Flash running. And then I crumpled it up and threw it out. So now I have to redraw a picture of the Flash running. Okay. So if we were to draw his body, like I'm doing now, it would look like these boxes were on him. Okay. That's because he's running sideways. What if he was running at me? Okay. Torso. We have a leg here, a leg there, and his other leg is actually disappearing There's his head. His arms going back. Arms hidden. Oh, I've got my right and my left mixed up. All right, let's say he's coming at you with a fist. I've changed the pose entirely. Okay. So, I just drew this little flash. His fist is here. His shoulder is here. But you and I know that the rest of his arm is here. It's obscured by the fist. Same thing with his leg. This leg, the upper leg, is coming forward. We see the knee here. But the calf is down here. The foot's even further back. But we know he has a calf. We know he has a full leg. And this one, forget about it. We see the thighs that's moving away from us. We cannot see the calf because it's hidden. This is called foreshortening. You don't have to worry about it right now. I'll do a video later on it. But that's why I don't want you to think about them like boxes. I want you to think about them like cylinders. Because if I'm drawing an arm, a shoulder, now I'm going to draw the same arm and it's coming at you. It'll be a sphere, it's rounded, and then finally the shoulder. So this equals that. It's just lifted up. Example again. Ted Kord's arm. Ted Kord's arm. We can no longer see the arm, but I'm not a magician, and you know that arm is still there. Foreshortening. Okay, so again, we're thinking about these like cylinders. And whatever I do on the one side, we can go ahead and do on the other. Okay. Now let's talk about the torso, the center, the trunk. Remember I talked about this hinge joint. So I want you to think about that. It's going to occur right in the center here. So on the one side, we're going to follow the slope of that top circle. Follow it down until it meets the bottom circle. Now I want you to follow the top of that bottom circle. So we kind of get a hinge joint of our own. Okay. Then for the bottom circle, we're going to slope downward. Let's look at Blue Beetle again. Blue Beetle, great superhero. He wears his underwear on the outside. All great superheroes do. Okay. Oh, what? You're going to tell Wolverine he looks silly? I don't think so. So, we're going to give our character a belt. Now, this is an imaginary belt. Your character doesn't have to end up with a belt. But we're going to do a belt. Notice how it's not a straight line. And then we're going to add an underwear spot right here. Looks a little silly, but that's going to help us later. Okay, so we have torso. Let's jump up the top here. Right now, this guy has a little stick neck. We're going to make that neck a little bit better. 2 lines on either side of that stick neck. And then we're going to have it kind of slope to meet those shoulders. Okay, now we're not going to get into heads today because I usually do that on a separate piece of paper. So we can just go around and solidify the head shape, but we're not going to do a head today. Let's jump down to the legs. Now we have this nice underwear that I made. So what we can do is we're going to start at this point. There's 2 points here. top here, top here. Have the outside leg slope down, come across, slope back up. Again, it's a cylinder. So our thighs tend to be pretty wide, pretty thick, especially if we're supporting a frame. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Then our calves, similar to our forearms, widest at the joint. Now our calves are kind of fun in that the outside is completely rounded, while the inside is rounded at the top, and then it kind of juts in. We're going to do the same thing for this side. Okay. Now you'll notice I left hands and feet off. Any artist will tell you that hands are the hardest thing to draw, and if they don't say that, they're lying to you. Don't trust liars. Don't trust anybody. DTA. Let's start with feet. Feet are a little bit easier. So, character is standing, looking directly at us. So you can see Blue Beetle's feet. It's coming right at us. So, it's not going to look like this, where you see the whole foot, very nice. Our character isn't bow-legged, okay? Our character is gonna look like this. The foot's coming at you. So, what I do for very basic feet, I like to do these kind of lazy triangles. So, I'll do a line straight down on the inside, and I'll have a line sloping outward. And then I'll just round the front, the toe, to meet. And if it helps, I'll show you if he was wearing a sneaker, this is where the laces would fall. And this is where the toe would fall. Okay. Now we're gonna jump up to hands. Again, hands are the hardest thing to draw. But just like we did with this body, we're gonna break it down and simplify it. It might help. I'll show you over here. I will draw big. You guys can draw small on your own figure. I'm just gonna blow it up. So let's do two hands. We will do a right and left hand. So let's say the left hand is easier. Left hand is gonna be a clenched fist. We like that. This is a clenched fist. Everybody say, ooh. Oh, okay. That's a clenched fist. So we're gonna start out, we're gonna start both actually the same way. We're gonna start by making a box. Box, box. Box. Okay. So with a clenched fist, you cannot see the individual fingers. That's why it's easy. We see the knuckles, and we see the thumb. So we're gonna start there. Now, basic kindergarten stuff. You've got 4 fingers, 1 thumb. So if you've got 4 fingers, you've got 4 knuckles. You can look at your own hand, but you'll notice that your middle finger knuckle protrudes the most. Your pointer finger protrudes, but these two kind of lay flat for the most part. So I'm gonna start there. My biggest knuckle is my middle finger. I have a smaller knuckle next to it. Then I have smaller ridges here that almost go flat. Okay? Little hills. Okay? Next part, see the thumb? The thumb wraps around your fingers when it makes a fist. And the thumb has 2 parts to it. 1, 2. It's got that 1 knuckle. So we're gonna start. We're gonna draw a cylinder for this guy. Coming out. Cylinder there. Second cylinder coming here. And that is going to be our clenched fist. Clenched fists are easy to draw, but if that's all you draw, people might suspect you can't draw a hand. So for this one, we're going to have a hand like that. Fingers face down. So let's start. I'm not tracing my hand. I want you to take a look at the fingers, because there are kind of rules to your fingers as well. You can see the middle finger is the longest, and you can see that pointer and the ring are almost the same length, just about. And then last we have pinky is the short guy. Then we have our thumb. This is the default rule for your hand. If you have a long pinky and it's the longest finger, I don't know what to say. Good luck. Okay, so we're gonna start with that. So you can do this multiple ways. We could draw lines for each finger, or we could draw a general shape. So let's start with a general shape. General shape will look like this, because we know it goes to this point and comes down. Now we can do lines. So we know that this is going to be the longest finger. We know this over here, and pointer, middle. Might need to erase, but like I said last time, it's part of drawing. So we have our 4 lines, 4 boxes right now. So we can go in and we can start to round them off. So we have our pointer finger, our middle finger, ring finger, and then last, the pinky finger. Now we'll go over here and we're going to add that thumb. Now if you look at the thumb, your fingers have 1, 2 knuckles. Your thumb is a little bit below the first knuckle of your pointer. So if your pointer is here, your thumb will be here. Thumb again has 2 joints, 1, 2. You can put lines denoting where the knuckles fall. But because this is we're only adding shapes to our character, we don't have to get too detailed with the hands yet. Very quickly, I'm going to add those hands to my character here. Okay. And there you have it. Second phase of our drawing is done. There we have it. We've added our new drawing. I've also grabbed Booster because they're best friends, the blue and gold connection. So, next time we talk, bring this and we'll do the final drawing. This is where we'll get to add all the detail of hair or costumes, muscles. So yeah, destroy, go scorched earth, obliterate, erase from the timeline this subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep making comics.